How do you authenticate a job? Now the first question that might be coming in your mind is that, do you really need to authenticate a job? Yes. And this is a very serious and an important factor that you should keep in mind when you are searching for jobs. Now there are a few factors that you have to keep in, especially for online jobs. There you might come across some kind of a problem. It can be n number of problems, but online jobs I have seen that there might be an authentication issue. First thing that you need to understand is that when you are going for a job, it cannot happen that the job just comes in over an email. Dear Mr. So-and-so, after looking in your profile, and the entire language of the mail is so beautiful, so authentic that you feel, yes, this is the job. This is the dream job which I have received. But I can tell you, you are totally wrong. Whatever the position that you are getting, be it a senior teacher, vice principal, assistant teacher, or if you are starting your career as a fresh graduate, it cannot happen that you getting a job just via email. So if it is via email and it confirms you that you have got a job, I can tell you, you need to check and recheck. The first factor is that a job cannot come without an interview. There should be 1, 2, 3, maybe multiple rounds of interview. So be careful that if you get something directly from an email and it promises you that you have got the job, it cannot be. Point number 1. Second is that when you are going for a job, for example, you are facing an interview, okay, online interview for example. And during that interview, the recruiter or the other person is constantly keeping the camera off. There is an element of doubt. Now those who know me, I conduct webinars on Saturdays also at home. You will see that I'm sitting in a homely environment where you will see my father or my daughter or mother moving around. And that is true. In order to maintain that authenticity, I always keep the camera on because the setup at Asian College of Teachers and at home are totally different. So if the recruiter is constantly keeping the camera off, why it is so? You should ask the question. If I am going to work with you, why there is a hide and seek game? Now the recruiter might say that I am not well, I am sick, I am traveling, so what? I mean to say that the recruiter and you both should have the camera on so that you can see each other. In case of jobs, there should be ample amount of transparency. So if the recruiter is keeping the camera off for a very long time and is not allowing you to see, then there is an element of doubt. Now third thing is that they need your bank account. Now in case of bank account, what I would say, very recently I have learned this. There was a lady from Asian College of Teachers, I'm not revealing her name. She told that, sir, I've got a job and they want me a bank account, but they have not given an appointment letter. Now how can it happen? If they are going to pay you the salary, then the appointment letter should have come on your hand. So how can you get your salary without being appointed? How can you get your salary without being appointed? That means there might be an element of doubt. Or it might be that they are genuine. So it is better to take a step back. Until and unless you receive a confirmation letter, why will you send the bank account? So remember that nowadays, email confirmation letter also comes over email. So check whether you have got an hard copy if it is on a proper letterhead. Check that email ID which is coming, it is a .com or a proper corporate ID or it is a Gmail ID. Yes, it might sometimes come from Gmail ID, but at least it should be on a letterhead. When you're checking the website, check whether it is HTTPS or not. That is what is called the SSL secured encryption. It might happen that you are going to a website which is telling you that it is not authentic. Then there is an element of doubt. I will come to few more important parts which you can check while authenticating the job. Now first of all, check whether the school or the institute have got a social media presence or not. Whether they have got a Facebook account, Instagram account or Twitter account. Also do check that if that social media account have got sufficient amount of data. That means if it is a school, there should be children. If it is an office, there should be people, isn't it? So social media presence is important. Check on any negative online reviews. We all check reviews before we are purchasing something on Amazon or Flipkart. Why don't you do this same with the schools? Check whether they have got any negative online reviews or not. Another important thing is that check on the company culture. Now you might have come from a culture which is totally different, isn't it? A very kind of an orthodox typical culture. But here there is a hey man, come on, and you might find your boss sitting and drinking with you, dancing in the party. Now I am not saying these are bad, but these comes as a cultural shock. You are not made with that kind of a culture to dance with your boss or drink or have a party. This might come as a cultural shock, so check from the website, do a study what kind of culture that company actually belongs to. So negative online reviews, company culture, these are very important. Another very important thing is that you do not check properly on what is written regarding the probation period. Now it might be written on completion or on effective completion of 6 months probation period. You have done with the 6 months and you tell, sir, why don't you give me the confirmation letter? And the boss tells you, no, you have not confirmed, you have not been confirmed. Why it is so? Because you tell that 6 months is over. But they tell you, go and check your letter. It is written effective completion of probation period. And you have not effectively communicated. You have not effectively completed. So that means the probation period also is an important part which you need to check. And finally what I would say is that check on the relocation part, because sometimes it is written that relocation is required, but the boss might say that it is not required right now, it is very rare, I will let you know when it happens. But suddenly the relocation comes, your family is not prepared, you are not prepared, and there is a tussle, there is a problem. But in the appointment letter it is given, there is a clause that you might be relocated. But just based on humanitarian ground or your PR talking with your institute, you think that no, I won't be relocated. So these are few of the factors that you need to check before you authenticate, before you select a job. I have already talked about these points, but remember, these are not the exhaustive points. There might be certain issues. You have got my phone number, you have got my WhatsApp and email ID. Please communicate with me so that I can give you a proper review and an understanding. That's all. I hope you have liked this video. Authentication is very important for selecting any kind of a job.